Happy holidays, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Viewable, across all my social media platforms. If you would, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up my video. Of course, share it amongst your family and friends. And you already guessed from the title of this video, we're about to have this versus debate, male version and the female version, about this little meme that was going around on social media. And this is my friend, Austin. Him and I have debated music back and forth for over 14 years at this point. And when we saw the meme, and he picked something totally different from me. On the heels of the Gucci and Jeezy versus battle, we both were on two separate sides of that fence.
Which was fantastic, by the way. It was a good versus.
I would say it was a win for Atlanta. Definitely a win for Atlanta. Definitely a win for trap music. Definitely a win for grown men standing in their manhood and leveling up. It was a beautiful thing to see, the whole versus between Jeezy and Gucci, even though Gucci was a little childish with those comments. Because, you know, I thought they was going to start popping. But you already know, YouTube, if you're ready to see what debate him and I are about to have on a versus level, then you already know. Let's keep watching.
Let's go.
You might be the one taking me home. One thing really do one.
Okay. So the comment that, well, the meme that we saw that we wanted to go ahead and discuss, it was a meme that came across of what side of the team would you be on? And it was a meme. I'm going to insert the meme right here so you guys can actually see it. But the meme was basically, what side of the fence do you sit on in this upcoming versus? And I was like, this would be a really fire versus. And it was Cash Money versus No Limit. And
the mighty No Limit at that.
When I first reached out to him in reference to the actual verses, I just knew he was going to be like Cash Money. Like, everybody named Mama is like Cash Money. Come on now. And when I reached out to him, surprisingly,
I chose No Limit. Okay. Now, before we get started, let me first kind of give a little background. We are both raised in Georgia, and we grew up in that 80s era. So we definitely...
I was born in 2004, guys. I'll be 21 forever. But go ahead. I just needed to correct that.
So
go ahead.
We both grew up in the era when Southern hip-hop was slept on.
In 2004.
You know, we can go down a list of so many artists, but, you know, her thing is Cash Money. But listen, you can't deny that No Limit dynasty that Master P built. So let's kind of go into it, and I'll tell you why No Limit was that record label that was just phenomenal. And she'll get into Cash Money.
So in the actual meme, guys, it was, you know, it was Master P, Silk the Shocker, C Murder, and Mia X, and Snoop Dogg. And in the Cash Money meme, it was Baby, Wayne, Juvie, BG, Turk that was in the actual meme. And we were thinking, like, I'm probably leaving one out of each group. Again, I don't have the meme pulled up. But I'm thinking, like, he said he wanted to do the video, and I'm sitting up there thinking, like, okay, so we're just going to talk about the people who are actual in the picture of the actual meme. He said no. He wanted to go Cash Money Records, all artists, everything, up against No Limit Records, all artists, the entire catalog. And I was like, bet, run it. So because he is a guest on my channel, I'm going to go ahead and allow him to go first. Obviously, I'm team Cash Money, and he's team No Limit. I'm going to let him go ahead and go first with some of his thoughts as far as why he's actually team No Limit and some of the artists. And then we'll start to go back and forth.
So first thing that you want to look at is you have to look at the amount of albums that were sold, the amount of records, and not only the records and the albums, but were they gold and were they platinum. No Limit was able to drop, once again, my numbers might be off, but No Limit was able to drop, I think, 23 albums in 1 year. And I think all those albums, minimum was gold or platinum. 23 albums in 1 year. I don't think not any other record label has done that consistently. Also, this came out before everyone was on iTunes and you could download music. I don't think you really download was like Napster, and Napster was eventually went away. But they were dropping records consistently. This is that period of time where you would drive to the record label, go ahead and buy that cheap Lego plastic No Limit record cover, which was like all kind of funny looking colors. But the main thing is you wanted was that album. So if you want to talk about just albums alone and the consistency and the fact that these Louisiana-based artists were gold and platinum on a consistent record, that right there can really trump anything else she had to say. But all those albums were dropped in 1 year. Then you got to mention that, you know, Master P started dropping albums and releasing, well, selling his music in the trunk of his car. So that just flooded Louisiana and flooded the South, because once you go to one party, you go to another one, you give it to DJs and kind of spread around. So you got to kind of listen, really got to start from that era right there. Cash Money didn't really have that. They really themselves went out with a mass production on a major record label. Master P didn't do that. He became a billionaire just by him really selling those records. So that's, I pointed another two mark. And also, what's very interesting is the way he promoted his albums was a phenomenal way. It's, you go to the people in your community, but you go to the DJs, you go to, you know, anyone that steps into their hood, you're hitting them with that music, hitting with that music. And that just flooded right then and there. So, you know, on that basis, I mean, you got No Limit. All those records were certified gold, certified platinum consistently.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into No Limit. I did like No Limit when I was back in high school. I thought they were an amazing group. You know what I'm saying? Even, you know, the different artists, Mia X, you know, P and Silk the Shocker and TRU. You know, I did love No Limit. We were all No Limit soldiers back in the day, but I have a soft spot deep down inside for Cash Money. I had the whole Cash Money chain back in high school, the whole nine. I am team Cash Money. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and talk about one of my first artists. Since he wants to be able to stack his label up against my label, I'm starting out with the Hot Boys. And just in case for those who may be younger or not necessarily into Southern rap from the 90s, early 2000s type music, part of the Hot Boys was BG, Turk, Juvenile, and Lil Wayne, with a lot of Birdman in the actual background. It's like the Hot Boys' very first album. It's just one of those albums that's classic. Straight hood, straight classic. Even to this day, you put on some old BG, some old Turk, you know, old Lil Wayne. This is before the Carter one. Old Juvenile. This is before 400 Degrees. If you go back to the original beginnings, the start of that Hot Boy, that sound straight out of NOLA, that real gritty Louisiana Ninth Ward type of sound and feeling, it was an automatic hit from out the gate. So I'm starting out with the actual Hot Boys album just to be like, how could you not be a Cash Money Records type of person if it came to a real deal, if they actually decided to do a Verzuz?
All right, so since you want to tackle on that, so then let's go back to the infamous Master P. Now, I'm going to start with the Ice Cream Man. Everyone knows that album. Everyone knows the songs to that record. And it's just a hood classic. But the record I really want to hop onto is that Ghetto D. Ghetto D was really that stamp that really put Master P as an artist and as someone who can really compete in the music industry. I mean, if you just look at that album, I mean, come on. Like, the first song, the intro, it just smacks you dead in the face. And then you have the second track, Let's Get 'Em. that song right there has probably one of the best intros there is, because you think he's talking, but he's rapping, and it goes right smack into the verse. Let's Get 'Em is like a classic wake up in the morning song. Before I even went to school, I would play that. That would be my wake up song. Let's Get 'Em. Okay, so that song right there is is just classic.
Even bigger than BG's Chopper City album.
Yes, indeed.
You sure you want to go against that one?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm listening. Go ahead.
All right. So when you want to talk about the album, I mean, there's 19 tracks on the album. Another, great song that I personally like is that Bourbons and Lax track. It has a kind of a slow melody to it, but it's one of those riding songs you can, really, really jam to. It's a classic. Every D-boy done probably done play that song. Matter of fact, when you play that song, you drive around with the windows half down and you lean back. That's what I'm saying, off a Master P album. That's that Master P, vibe. But that song right there is classic. I mean, it just come on, man. And then of course you got to make them say, off that album.
Okay, so
enough is said. That album right there was that step that put him really on the map. Make him say, that album right there.
Okay, so we're gonna put it up against Juvenile's 400 Degrees.
I thought you said BG.
Again, I've talked about BG, okay, and you went ahead and disputed that one. So let's throw this album up against Juvenile's 400 Degrees. By the way, BG has 21 albums in the past 24 years. First album came out in 1996. He just did a EP earlier this year. Juvenile has right at, I want to say maybe 22 albums. He just did an EP/LP last year. His first solo album actually came out back in 1997. But we're talking about Juvenile. Not too many people are aware of Soldier Rags unless you just really into that type of music. But when Juvenile really burst on the scene and took everything over was that 400 Degrees album that came out in 1998, and we all know, Hot and all these other tracks off that album. But the breakout here from that album was Back That Ass Up. Again, I'm still confused as how you can still ride No Limit, knowing that Cash Money has all of this heat. And I've just covered 3 different groups and artists, the Hot Boys to BG to Juvenile. And we're just now starting to get really hot into 97, 98. I'm still waiting for some heat to come down.
So since you want to bring that up, first and foremost, let's just focus on albums, not mixtapes. Because a lot of those, you said something about BJ had like 20 something. Those are, if you just doing albums off the major record label, let's just think the albums, because I think you
but why?
Mixtapes.
Wouldn't you include their entire bodies of work? Because a lot of artists, like Ludacris, started and got big doing mixtapes out of his trunk.
True, but mixtapes is a combination of other artists.
It's building your fan base, though.
Right. But let's just talk about their bodies of work. And making a mixtape and making an album, even though they kind of go side by side, any artist can and sample music and put out a mixtape. Wayne been doing that for years. People doing that for years, but an album takes a whole nother type of monster to kind of create. But since you want to talk about groups, so of course you have the No Limit, and let me add the other members because you only named maybe 3 or 4. So of course you got Mystical, Mid-X, you got Fiend, capital Fiend, Fiend, for someone who knows how his music. Then you also have Magnolia Slim, which eventually was named Soldier Slim. By the way, didn't Juvenile need him on the song? Yeah. Then you got the whole group, TRU. Then you got Kane and Abel. Then you have Matt Man. Then you have C Murder. And I'm ready to read those C Murder out there. I'm holding that one in because I know you about to say something. But whenever you throw Wayne in, I'm gonna throw C Murder in. But we get on that. So of course you got Mid-X, you got Mystical. I'm trying to think if there was someone else. I don't think it was Mr. Servo was also on that as well. I think it was another guy because they had a whole plethora of guys, of members. So if I mistake someone, I apologize. But you have all those guys under that No Limit umbrella. So even if you want to talk about numbers, No Limit still had more members and more groups than Cash Money.
Okay, so since you want to talk about artists, see, I was just really waiting to hold this back until, towards the end of it to kind of just, solidify my choice and my decision. But since we want to talk about artists, we're talking about Cash Money Records. Of course, we're going to talk about the OGs, Birdman, Slim, Lil Wayne, Juvenile, BG. You want to talk about the original members, Turk. You definitely want to go ahead and talk about them. But it wasn't just them, because they started to expand their portfolio out. They expanded their portfolio out. Manny Fresh is there. You can't talk about, the Cash Money Records and not talk about the Big Timers and those huge hits and different things that they came off of, just the strength of them teaming up and being part of an actual group. And then you got to talk about the fact that they birthed Lil Wayne. So you got the Carter 1, Carter 2, Carter 3, Carter 4, Carter 5. Regardless of the stuff that Lil Wayne is on now, in the fact that he's not necessarily a great representative as far as understanding Black people today and our struggle today, if you take what Lil Wayne has been doing for the past 14, 15 months and we just like, what is you talking about? Black lives don't matter. If you take all of that out of it and you just really focus and drill down on the actual music, you cannot talk about the last 20 years of music and not put Wayne in there. Whether you are an OG fan of the Carter 1, Carter 2, the Carter 3. Are you serious? The Carter 3? It dominated the airways for 2 years straight. And then the Carter 5. Are you kidding me right now? So if we're really going to talk about artists, I'm like, let's really talk about artists, because as I started to throw Lil Wayne out there for you guys, I got to talk about transitioning from Cash Money, because underneath Cash Money, they did have Lil Wayne's record group and label and everything, where he was able to go ahead and sign Drake, Tiger, Nicki Minaj. He was able to pick up on these big acts and these big hits. Hitman, he was able to go ahead and pull all of them in. And recently, you also got to remember that Cash Money went ahead and was able to pick up Yo Gotti, Jaquez. The list goes on. From time to time, they did dibble and dabble a little bit with T-Pain. They did dibble and dabble a little bit with Trick Daddy. And I'm just like, are you serious? If we go down the whole Drake catalog, I don't even have to say anything else about Cash Money. I could just go down the whole beginning, first half of Drake's career, and boom, just throw that out there. Drake's first 2 albums. Are you kidding me? Or do we really want to talk about Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday? Or do we want to talk about Young Money's Bedrock album and the whole thing? Do we really want to talk about that? It's just like...
Okay. So glad you said that. Now, let's do a little bit of history, all right? All of that you mentioned, notice how the Hot Boys kind of came to an end and Wayne spread his wings out. So let's kind of break this down. Let's kind of do a little bit of history. The Cash Money era was the Hot Boys. All right, Hot Boys, Big Timers, Manny Fresh, Baby. That's pretty much that Cash Money era. When Cash Money stopped, when that era stopped, Baby really was pushing Wayne. Now I give you that. Wayne, hats off to him. But notice how Wayne took everything he learned from Baby and created Young Money. See, what I'm talking about is all No Limit. This is all No Limit, still one record label. You're drifting off to a whole nother umbrella.
But hold on, pause. Because let's be honest about it. As talented as No Limit Records is, there was no one underneath Master P who was talented enough to actually be able to break off and branch off and create their own record label with amazing
no one needed
artists.
To.
It's not about needing to. It's about diversifying your portfolio.
Wayne went once Manny Fresh stopped making music, okay? Wayne, or should I say, once that Hot Boys stopped making music, once Turk, when BG, when Juvie started going their own way, Baby pushed Wayne and making Wayne the main person. Wayne was holding down Cash Money, but then Wayne was like, well, now that I'm doing this, let me know what I'm saying, do Young Money. Okay,
but that's the signs of a great record label, being able to nurture and grow your artists up to where they can become their own heads and own CEOs. That's what Master P tried to do with his artists. Remember when Master P first came out?
We're not talking about Young Money. We're talking about just Cash Money, the umbrella of music that was released under the Cash Money umbrella.
Because No Limit failed to do so.
No. What? No. So okay. So it's wrong there. The same thing that happened to the Hot Boys, same thing that happened to No Limit. If you look at any No Limit album, you will see producers called Beats by the Pound. I think what 3. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Once Manny stopped making music, or should I say stopped producing for Cash Money, the same thing happened to No Limit. Beats by the Pound, they stopped making us music, which kind of led to stop of production, which led to the fall. But once Manny Fresh kind of stepped away, Turk stepped away, BD stepped away, Julie stepped away. All these are members under Cash Money. Everyone was pushing, Baby was pushing, Wayne. Wayne created Young Money. Then when she got Drake, then when she got Nicki Minaj, and all these other artists. But that's what shows how amazing Wayne was. But I'm still focusing off on Cash Money and the people under Cash Money. But if you want to talk about that, when you hear Drake, do you hear Cash Money or do you hear OVO?
That's in the later last 8 or 9 years.
When you hear Drake, you think of OVO. When you hear Nicki Minaj, you think of Young Money. When you hear Mac Man, Jay Mills, all those artists, you think of Young Money.
What about Rich Homie Quan? Let's go for it. Go. What about Busta Rhymes? Go for it.
Busta Rhymes just released an album, amazing album, by the way, but I don't think that's under Cash Money. Or
it definitely is.
Under Cash Money, or is it under Young Money?
Cash Money.
I'm gonna have to
He's
look that
Bird,
up.
Man.
Look it up. All right. So, but as you see, in order for Wayne to remain relevant, or something for that, what Wayne did was Wayne, took everything he learned under Baby, under, Cash Money, and made Young Money. Those two are subsidiaries that go side by side. When you think about No Limit, it's just No Limit. Everyone is under No Limit. Now, when Snoop, came into the fold, Snoop came through No Limit. It wasn't, Master P going to create a whole nother thing or this. He was all under No Limit. It was still under the same umbrella. So what you're doing is what you have just done. You just showed how impressive Wayne was, business savvy, to step out and create his own record label.
So to bust that bubble, everybody knows in the music industry, if you sign to Young Money, it's a 360 deal that also feeds not only into the bigger houses like Columbia or Epic Records or Atlantic Records, but it's also a 360 deal that feeds right back into Cash Money. So I understand what you're saying. It's just a mute point, because ultimately at the end of the day, it's still underneath the actual Cash Money Records brand. You can be signed to multiple different record labels and multiple different production houses at the same time. Look at Megan. She was signed to Carl Crawford and also Jay-Z's Entertainment for 6 or 7 months before they finally split her off, and now she's just a Jay-Z artist. So you can definitely be signed to multiple places. But ultimately, it all falls underneath the Cash Money brand. But, okay. But let's go ahead and talk about these hit songs that just really just make more sense. Even if you was to hear that song in 2020, would you still bump it in your car? Would you still go tear the clubs up? Would you still be like, play that at my funeral? Or just, whatever it may be. Let's talk about the music.
Okay. So pretty much let's talk about, one song that is amazing to this day. Let's talk about C Murder. C Murder has one song that no matter where you go.
You mean Monica Boo?
No, I do not.
He definitely.
I'm not talking about that song.
He definitely is. But go ahead.
When you hear this one song, I'm not going to say that. I don't know if I can say that word, but C Murder has the "Down for My Brother's" song. That song right there is It don't matter where you go.
He sent the edited version, which is down for my hitters.
Down for my hitters.
But you guys know it's the down for my N-word part song.
Anywhere that song plays, that song is going to, man, that song would tear down a club. Matter of fact, not only would tear down a club, you hear that song at any HBCU, boy, you got that whole Divine Nine about, you know what I'm saying, go bananas once that song cranks up. Okay? That's just one song by one artist.
Can we say something? He just had to talk about the HBCU because he's a Sigma. So
and your point is?
Continue.
And since I am a Sigma, when I hear that song, it is very relevant for me to stroll. And for anyone, alphas, kappas, omegas, you know, anyone, when they hear that song, everybody goes crazy. That's just one song right there, still relevant till this day. That man ain't putting on no music out in years, but when that song comes on,
still getting paid royalties.
Still getting paid. So go ahead and go with, you know what I'm saying, with your Juvenile song. That's go ahead, go with that one.
I already threw out Back That Ass Up, but if you want another one, we can throw out Rodeo, we can throw out Ha, we can throw out the G-Code.
Juvenile. Yeah. Keep in mind, you only mention one artist. Juvenile.
Wait, you just threw out, all you talked about was C Murder.
Okay, that's one artist. That's one artist. Okay,
yeah, I just did one. All I talked about was Juvenile.
Okay, so what's the other artist? Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying, Wayne 500 on the Grid album. What's that song off his album that really, you know what I'm saying, just shuts the club down?
Aren't you supposed to be talking about your group and your work, your body work? Why are you all over here, my Kool-Aid?
I mentioned C Murder, so now
keep on. I'm gonna Heaven's Gate him.
So now it's your turn.
Maybe that's a bad reference. You be like, damn, man, Heaven's Gate.
I mentioned one song. Now you mentioned the artist, and I go back to artists. Okay, so other than you just mentioned 3 records by Juvenile.
I was just throwing them out there. It ain't really that big of a deal.
But it is okay. But I'm saying, name me 2 or 3 songs not by Juvenile, okay, that are really, you know what I'm saying, relevant and they're playing today. Like as soon as you hear it, everyone knows who that is. When you hear the everyone knows who that is. Name me a Wayne record under the Cash Money. It don't even have to be Wayne.
I'm not abiding by your rules.
She don't want to abide by rules.
So we're gonna go ahead with BG because he was the first artist I pulled up. Damn what he's saying right now. I don't have time for that. So we're gonna talk about BG's Bling Bling. If you want me to go ahead and throw out 3 tracks.
That's a Hot Boy song.
No, that's actually off his Chopper City album. That's actually
which includes the Hot Boys.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it Bling Bling.
Okay, so on to my next pick. Okay, can excuse me.
The hook was by Wayne.
Excuse me. Can I have my next pick? You
go ahead.
You want to be an overbearing commissioner? Can I have my next pick, please?
Hey, I'm just sticking to the facts.
Okay, so the next one that I'm gonna go ahead and talk about is the Cash Money is the Army, better yet a Navy. I mean, come on now. When you hear it, it just puts you into that NLE type of chopper zone, and you just be like, come on now. Like, you just be waiting on more No Limit music after you hear that song, period, point blank. Like, if you was to play that in a club or anything like that, for the ones who actually know that music, oh, that club finna be lit. You know what I'm saying? Even if you go to any HBCU campus here in the South, North, East, West, doesn't matter. Some of the artists from Cash Money Records, when you actually play their music, it's automatically like, are you kidding me? It's about to be lit. But since he wanted me to pick a 3rd song from the actual same artist, then I would have to go with My Hood. BG's My Hood. When that My Hood come on, you just be like, in my mind, I'm a dope dealer. I'm cooking crack. I'm finna go hop in my box Chevy and I'm gonna do a drive-by. That's what you be thinking in your mind. Meanwhile, you in a minivan about to go pick your kids up from daycare. But that's besides the point. So let's go ahead, sir.
So let's get into another artist under the No Limits umbrella. Let's get into Mystical. Okay, Mystical has Let's See, Here I Go. When that song comes on, everybody know who it is. Matter of fact, Cedric the Entertainer even came out to that song. When that bass line drop, man, everybody go crazy. People, man, the D-Boys would get subwoofers in their cars just for that song. Shake It Fast. Whoo! Right there. Another one. As soon as they hear that, know what I'm saying? As soon as they get that Neptune production, that's a wrap. Danger. Another one. No, that thing goes hard.
Y'all remember Corinne Stephens, Superhead, dancing in the desert to that song? I'll give him that. I'll give him that. To be honest with you, that video blew Corinne Stephens up. It
sure did.
I'll give old Superhead that one.
Then you have the infamous I Smell Smoke. Man, even if you don't smoke, when you hear that,
you feel like rolling up bud.
You feel like smoking. You know what I'm saying?
It's not fair. I'm a huge Mystical fan.
Electrical guitar.
Old school Mystical.
Go, know what I'm saying? Crazy. Bouncing back, man. Bouncing back.
I thought he said 3. He doing it. It's not fair.
Hey,
it's not fair.
Once again,
but
all
I like
songs
all of them.
off the No Limit umbrella. Okay. Another one. To me,
wait, so he just gonna do all these artists and stuff? Okay.
Listen. So I can know what I'm saying. So I can start with it. Now, there was another know what I'm saying song that even though it wasn't off of his album, I think this was still an amazing record that shows how amazing Mystical was. Mystical did a song called Neck of the Woods featuring Outkast. But you gotta give
that was off the Wood soundtrack.
But you gotta give Mystical, know what I'm saying, his props because
he tore it up.
Because his style was so different that honestly, I think Big Boy had to kind of change his style to kind of compete, know what I'm saying, with him. Because Big Boy is a kind of a guy that he can go a little fast, but Big Boy kind of slows it down. But Mystical was like, Big Boy kind of had, know what I'm saying, he changed the whole, know what I'm saying, style up. So, yeah, that's just, know what I'm saying, just some of the records, know what I'm saying, yes. And also another thing about Mystical that I really like, Mystical dropped a record called Murder. I think he had 3 or 2 different versions of the song about, know what I'm saying, his sister, know what I'm saying, being killed. And that song really, know what I'm saying, showed what kind of person, know what I'm saying, you know, he was. Like, that was like that song that a lot of people could know what I'm saying, relate to. But all songs under the No Limit umbrella. You go next. I'm waiting for you to throw, know what I'm saying, Nick Minaj out. I'm waiting.
I got so many Joker cards up my sleeve, it don't even make no sense. So y'all know that. But let's go ahead and talk about Lil Wayne, since he wants to bring up Lil Wayne and talk about Lil Wayne. I wanted to know, are my DJs a part of this too? Because my DJs are artists too. Kind of like Salt and Pepper and Spinderella. She's their DJ, but she's still an artist, so she's a part of the group. Because if I could bring my DJs into it, then I would be talking about Manny Fresh. I'd be talking about Birdman and DJ Khaled. Because we know DJ Khaled and Cash Money is, you'll know what I'm saying. So I want to know, can I bring my DJs into the fight too? Because I could just completely throw away all my artists and just went on the strength of my 3 DJs. Okay. So, or do you want me to stick to my artist?
So you can bring DJs in, but notice how No Limit, under the umbrella, they had beats by the pound. Those 3 guys were pumping out beats consistently. I don't know much about if how many other producers they had, but based on my information and what I've been able to research, No Limit had a consistent same 3 guys, beats by the pound, pumping out all, know what I'm saying, that music. So you can go ahead and throw your little producers in there, but once again, sticking to the No Limit umbrella, Beats by the Pound was creating music for what's like what 7 artists and 3 groups, all under that one umbrella.
Okay, so Lil Wayne. Well, you can't talk about Lil Wayne and not talk about the Carter 3, the Carter 5, and the Carter 1. The Carter 2 and the Carter 4, they're nice, they're fire, don't get it twisted. But some of his biggest hits came off the Carter 1, the Carter 3, and the Carter 5. A Millie, you know what I'm saying? A huge record. A huge record. You know what I'm saying? When A Millie comes on, I don't care if you're in a club, if you're at a wedding, if you're at a group, whatever it may be, college event, it doesn't matter. If you're at a game, NBA game, NFL game, it doesn't matter where you are. When A Millie comes on, everyone gets hyped and everyone gets lit. But you can also go ahead and talk about Lollipop. You can go ahead and talk about How to Love if you really wanted to. You can go ahead and talk about 6 foot, 7 foot. And if you really wanted to, you can continue to go down that list and talk about
Same artist.
She Will, Stun Like My Daddy. Like, I just threw out some of the ones from Lil Wayne. But if you really wanted to talk about some of the ones, let's throw out Nicki Minaj. Mm-hmm. First album. Are you kidding me? Nicki is a goddess among gods. Let's just go ahead and just shut it all the way down. Nicki has a lot of fire, but let's just talk about when she completely slaughtered every man on one track. That Monster remix came with Kanye and all of the other artists that was on it. Nicki slaughtered them with her track. And let's not forget, the first time, a lot of time even heard Nicki Minaj, a lot of y'all didn't hear the Pink Piggy, Big Piggy, her very first mixtape. I'm going to leave that out since he said I can't really talk about mixtapes. But the first time you heard Nicki Minaj was on that song that she did with Lil Wayne and all of Young Money. And she said her flows was tighter than a dick in the butt. Do you remember the first time you actually heard that? You was like, yo, who is this? Because you hadn't heard anything like that really raw and raunchy like that since Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown. So when even Eve with a lot of her music didn't go quite that raunchy with it, but that was one of the first lines most people heard from Nicki Minaj. And hey, we've been on our Pink Friday ever since. And if you really want to talk about something else with Nicki Minaj, I don't even have to go down her music. We can talk about her characters that she played. When she's on Roman's Revenge, and she gets into the Roman type of character, I'm waiting on Nicki to go ahead and drop that Roman's Revenge album. That's what I really want. But, and did I tell you, not only does she rap, but she sings flawlessly. So she's a triple threat with the things that she actually does. But, you know, do you want me to keep going with my other artists? Because I can go ahead and pull Drake out the bag, too.
Okay, well, pause. Now, notice how Nicki came under the Young Money umbrella. So let's talk about, know what I'm saying, Mia X. Mia X dropped 3, know what I'm saying, albums. 95, 98, 97. The thing about Mia X, what made Mia X so amazing, is Mia X was one of the females who didn't have to sell sex. Mia X was fully dressed on every single album cover, wearing a suit. What she, know what I'm saying, was selling and promoting was business. Business. I can, know what I'm saying, shoot what you do. I can, know what I'm saying, bang what you do. I can make money what you do. I can sell deal what you do. Everything a dude can do, know what I'm saying, I can do it. Mia X didn't have to sell sex. Not only that, Mia X also, know what I'm saying, Foxy Brown was also under one of Mia X's songs as well. So now, because I haven't heard a song with Mia X in a while, I can't really quote off a song or a lyric. But, you know what I'm saying, Mia X stood her own with that whole plethora of guys. Hands down. You know what I'm saying? Hands down, Mia X, you know what I'm saying, stood tall, big time. Okay? Now, you got me with Nicki Minaj. I give it to her. Amazing artist. What I'm saying she has done, you know what I'm saying, is hands down. But if you look at Lil' Kim, look at Foxy Brown, look at Nicki Minaj, you see similarities. Okay? You don't see that similarity when you, know what I'm saying, look at Mia X. Alright? So I'm just talking about, know what I'm saying, what differentiates Mia X from Nicki Minaj. Now definitely, I would love, know what I'm saying, see, know what I'm saying, Nicki Minaj perform. Know what I'm saying, definitely. But you want to talk about, know what I'm saying, female artists that really, know what I'm saying, separate themselves from anyone else? Tell me, know what I'm saying, what female can wear pinstripe, a 3-piece pinstripe suit with the fedora hat with some high heels and hop, know what I'm saying, on the stage.
Did that.
Yeah, but look, Kim had the little brassiere thing, so she was like, she was still, know what I'm saying, showing the chest. The only other female artist who was doing that was like Queen Latifah, MC Lyte,
Lady of Rage,
all of them was fully, know what I'm saying, covered. And it was another female, I just can't think of it right now. Oh, and Missy Elliott, because Missy Elliott, know what I'm saying, is mostly covered. So, but you can, know what I'm saying, compare a lot of other females for as performance wise and lyrics wise to Nicki Minaj, but how many, know what I'm saying, you know, gangster chicks, know what I'm saying, you got like Mia X. The only one similar, the only one similar was, I would say, Gangsta Boo. Even Gangsta Boo still was selling a lot of sex, but Mia kind of separated herself from a lot of folks. So we got Mia X and Nicki Minaj, but Nicki Minaj came under the Lil Wayne umbrella of Young Money. Mia X, No Limit. Now to really really shut this whole thing down, let's talk about one of.
Okay. Look at me. Stop looking at the camera. Go back and forth in between the two. But go ahead. Go ahead. Because I don't know if we're doing a stock conference right now.
So let's kind of talk about.
Okay, so basically.
By the way, I just want to tell you how beautiful you look today.
He's still lost. Anyway, so we can do a part 2 for you guys. If you guys want us to go ahead and go across some of the other artists, like I know he's a huge Dungeon Family fan, a huge Outkast fan. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to see Dungeon Family with all of their artists up against the Wu-Tang Clan with all of their artists, we can definitely go ahead and bring one of those to you. But we'll go ahead and do a part 2 of this one because somebody has to get back to work. You know me, this is me working. So, is there anything you want to end part 1 with?
Well, I didn't get an opportunity to talk about the other artists because Fiend has some amazing some records.
Who was Fiend?
Fiend was another artist under the No Limit umbrella. You got the group, TRU. You have all under No Limit.
Drake.
You have the
Drake.
Then I didn't even get to when Snoop Dogg came in because let me think. Hold on. Which artist? Which artist left one record label and came to Cash Money? Not Young Money, came to Cash Money.
Snoop ain't had no choice. He was going through that whole situation. But okay,
but
keep
out of all the record labels Snoop could have went to, he came down to Louisiana. He came down to Louisiana under No Limit. Because
they offer him the bigger bag and they offer him a certain type of lifestyle. They offer him a certain type of lifestyle. It wasn't just about the bag.
But notice how Wayne
still was going through that shit though.
But notice how Wayne had to branch out from Cash Money and create Young Money. But P, No Limit, Master P, No Limit, he came to No Limit. Okay.
Damn. Lil Wayne started the original MLS scheme, didn't he? The whole, I'm sitting at the top of the pyramid and all these people underneath me, they continuously feed into me.
All I'm saying is
pyramid scheme, record company. I'm just playing. Don't sue me. I'm suing. I'm just playing. Don't sue me with that one. I'm just playing.
What artist left a record label, Def Jam, like LaFace, and came under Cash Money? That's all I want to know.
Okay. Okay, Bob.
All right.
Okay.
So... And not to mention, those records, was classic. I don't even need to go down Snoop Dogg, catalog.
But he only had 2 hits with No Limit. But
and keep my hits platinum albums at that. Okay, platinum albums at that. Okay.
I'm more interested in the Dungeon Family versus Wu-Tang.
Listen. We can
go ahead and finish out our part 2. We'll get it to you guys.
Yeah, when we come back, we can go on to Snoop. And then, like I said, we still got...
He said he gonna nail me with that Snoop. He won't let that Snoop go. That was his joking now.
Snoop was the main bullet.
My joke is DJ Khaled, but keep going.
No, once again, under the... Man, see, please make comments about No Limit umbrella, Cash Money umbrella. But see, you have Cash Money, then you have Young Money.
Don't get mad at me. You chose the very limited losing team in this particular category.
What Master P did under that umbrella was amazing. Period. Baby did not do as much as Master P did. Period. Come on, man. You put Master P on what he did in the music industry, and you put Cash Money on what he did.
YouTube, down in the comments. Do y'all feel that way too? Do y'all feel like if you put Master P up against Baby, P did more? P was more relevant with the music and everything than Baby was? So, YouTube, leave it down for me in the comments what y'all think. Because I'm like, did you smoke some crack before this video?
Because not only you got music, you have... So you talking Master P, you got music, basketball, food, movies, and that movie Foolish that Master P did, where he gave Eddie Griffin $1 million to come on, Foolish was man. Foolish was man.
wait. I thought we was just talking about the music.
Right.
You see how he want to go left? But if I started talking about the movies from my artists and stuff, we would really be.
You only got that one movie, that Hot Boys. What other movies you have?
Are we talking about the music or are we talking about other stuff?
Because you know, No Limit had.
I'm trying to be gentle, y'all.
I got the hookup, and everyone know that is a hood classic.
He gonna lock me in the closet.
And they did I Got the Hookup, I'm saying, part 2. You have Foolish. I think it was another, I'm saying, movie that they
if
did.
I don't post tomorrow, send him.
Man, Master P, I'm saying, had a like 5 or 6 movies all under the No Limit umbrella. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. I love you, beautiful switches. Gotta get to work. We'll get back to part 2. Fiend, Mr. Servon, Cain and Abel, other artists. Oh, I forgot about the 504 Boys.
So on that note, YouTube, thank you so much for watching my channel. You guys know I don't care when you watch me in the morning, afternoon, evening, or late at night. I'm just happy that you came to spend some time with your girl. And as always, thank you so much, YouTube. Until next time. Bye.